to Atlanta Lawyers on the Move.
Welcome to Atlanta Lawyers on the Move. Atlanta Lawyers are a community of support and encouragement. Today we're going to interview a successful and focused lawyer to learn more about them, their story, and their law practice. Who am I? My name is Pamela Deneuve, and I help focused and successful lawyers increase their profits, move their practice to the next level, and enjoy peak performance. Listen to our interview this week.
Hi, my name is Pamela Deneuve, and welcome to Atlanta Lawyers on the Move. We are so pleased to have as our guest this week, Karen Weinstock. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Karen. Karen is a Georgia leader in immigration law. She's the managing attorney of Weinstock Immigration Lawyers. It's a premier immigration law firm in Atlanta, Georgia, with over 16 years of experience, and she has developed expertise representing U.S. and international companies in securing global talent and ensuring the employees and their families have a good experience in immigrating to the United States. Karen has a passion for the pursuit of excellence in immigration. She was born and raised in Israel and immigrated to the United States in 2000. Her genuine passion for immigration law is a direct result of her personal experience as an immigrant. This ability to identify and empathize with immigrants and her commitment to excellence in obtaining results for her clients differentiates her as one of the top and leading immigration attorneys in the South. Now, prior to opening her own immigration law firm, Karen was the managing attorney of a regional immigration law firm in Atlanta's office for over 11 years. Now, her experience of immigrating combined with her experiencing the many obstacles that she experienced, the cross-cultural differences and employment challenges, all enable her to have stronger empathy with her international clientele and she's much better prepared to serve their particular needs. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about her expertise. She's in employment, non-based immigration, and she does labor certifications, permanent residence for intercompany executives, permanent residency for people with extraordinary and exceptional ability in the sciences, training and education companies, managing on HR on expats. She's had lots of honors and awards. She's has a lot of organizational leadership. For example, she's the International Women's Series Chair for Connex 2015 to present, and the International Engagement Advisory Board for Forsyth County 2014 present. And she's written publications and she gives lots of lectures. So Karen, you're very brilliant. We're so glad to have you as our guest. We feel very honored.
Oh, thank you so much. That was a long introduction.
Well, I'd like to ask you the Atlanta Lawyer on the Move questions. And the first is, when and what made you decide to become a lawyer?
Early on, when I was really growing up, and I had a very overdeveloped kind of sense of justice, and I just I kind of knew in my high school that was the direction that I wanted to go, and then I actually was able to do that. I grew up in Israel, and I had to go to the military. We have mandatory service there for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So it kind of sat with me while I was going through military service, which was something that's totally unrelated to law. But I think that that experience also helped me in developing a lot of resilience and discipline. Although I had it before, it really increased that aspect of it. in the military. And I was in intelligence too, so I really had to use my brain instead of just following orders on command. So it all kind of contributed to my calling. And so I went to law school in Israel, and in Israel there's really nothing that there's close to immigration law. And that part of the career actually followed after I moved to the United States.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, how long did you practice law in Israel before you came to the United States?
So I really did not practice law in Israel except for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
In Israel, you have to go through an internship year. So after you finish law school, you have to work under the supervision of a lawyer
Mm-hmm.
for at least 1 year before you can sit for the bar. So I had to do that, and I did that in an office and worked with a lawyer. And actually, I did the Israeli bar right after I did the American bar. I went to do a New York bar, and I did the Israeli bar within 2 months apart, which was very hard.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, but I did the lucky thing was I did the U.S. one first,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did the Israeli one as a backup if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, I didn't have any brain capacity to learn more. And so the Israeli bar just read through very quickly and just revisited the materials, and somehow I passed. So.
Oh, that's really amazing. Wow, that's 2 bars right back to back is quite an accomplishment as well. How did your parents feel about you deciding to be a lawyer when you were like a young lady, a teenager or a girl?
I think they were excited. My mom was specifically excited because she is a lawyer too. She works for the government. She used to be a prosecutor and worked in the police force, and so for her it was kind of okay, great. And my dad is like, as long as I'm happy, like he's happy, and he was very chill about it. So
Wonderful. Is your mom still practicing, or is she retired now?
no, she's retired now.
Okay. So now you're the lawyer in the family, right?
Yeah. I have another one, my cousin. So.
Oh, do you? Okay. Now, what do you like about practicing law in Atlanta?
So I like what I do, immigration law, because it really helps people achieve their American dream. And my entire team really helps a lot of people, including companies, their employees, individuals, to get legal status in the United States in a point of time where it's very hard for them. They're going through a major life transition. They're moving from another country, or they moved from another country, they're already here, they want to stay for the long term. And we're helping them accomplish this life goal of theirs. So it's something that is very rewarding and very challenging also at the same time, because a lot of the adjudication part is really politically motivated. So we just have to keep improving, keep getting better, be on our toes, and just trying to anticipate, okay, what's going to come next, and how do we best help our clients overcome these challenges.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine that. Now, what would you say was the most challenging part for you of coming to the United States and going through the immigration process?
So for me, the most challenging part was not being ready for it. And I moved here all by myself. I didn't have a company like a lot of my clients, have established companies and HR policies and support network and things like that when they move. I really, other than a cousin of my mom's, I didn't really have any support network per se. So moving here basically by myself, without knowing, I was very young and optimistic, and not knowing, okay, what are the challenges that I'm going to have? For example, I couldn't get a visa without a job, and I couldn't get a job without having a visa or a work visa. So that process, and how to interview, how to meet people to get a job, things like that. they were all foreign to me.
Mm-hmm.
The language was good because my English was always good, but the mentality, the how to, there's no manual. I didn't go to college here, so I didn't even know how to write a resume that would be acceptable here. And in Israel, it's a small country, and I knew a lot of people. My family knew a lot of people. My mom was in the legal community, so if I wanted a job as a lawyer in Israel, there's no problem. I would just make a few phone calls, do a couple interviews, and somebody would hire me.
Yes.
So it was very, very different, and very frustrating also in the first move that I've made here.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us a little bit about your practice, your biggest wins and your biggest challenges.
Okay, so kind of the biggest wins are for us are doing things that are taking over from other attorneys, cases that were denied, they're on appeal, or being a second opinion to somebody who says this cannot be done. And people just hit their head against the wall, like, okay, I can't do this, or I went to 3 lawyers and they said we can't help you, and I don't know what else to do. So those are really very rewarding cases. The other part of our big wins are cases where we help an entire company kind of revamp their organization welcome to foreign nationals. So we will work with HR to do policies and procedures, and what are the best tools and mechanisms to bring those employees to the United States, what types of things a foreign national going from a different country to the United States would need. And this is something that no one else provides, because it's not really a legal service, right, per se.
It's more
and it's not something that but it's something that helps so much, because if the employee is moving here, especially with family members and things like that, and instead of focusing on work, they're running around between the DMV and the Social Security office and the supermarket and they're not productive in the first month or two. And their welcome is not really a welcome. And so the challenge is to actually have that really kind of red carpet welcome to someone coming from overseas. And it's not that difficult to do, and it doesn't take that much resources. It's just you have to be aware of certain things, and you have to build it, and they'll come. And this can alleviate a lot of stress and aggravation that is involved with international assignments. And of course, it's stressful anyway. Even moving from Chicago to Atlanta could be stressful.
Yes.
But within the same country is so much easier than, somebody just landing here and, they don't have a visa, they don't have a social security number, they can't work, they don't have a car, they don't have a credit, so they have everything they have to pay in cash. So there's a lot of things that you don't really think if you're an American company, an American HR person that's in charge of these policies, or running a team, and you need that talent to come.
Yes. Wow. Okay. So you actually do consulting as a separate service?
Yes, it's part of what we offer our company clients. So we offer them this. If we see that they don't have that type of policy, or if they're doing things incorrectly, or we think that they can improve that process, we say, okay, would you be open to having that conversation with us? And then we can help them with better systems and processes and things, so the next person will be easier and easier and easier and easier, and it really will contribute to the happiness of the entire company and that employee. And happiness is one of my firm's one of our biggest values is happiness. Happiness in the place of work, and also happiness to spread on to clients.
Oh, that's really a great goal and a great philosophy and outlook. Do you find that there are a lot of cases in Atlanta, a lot of people moving, I guess, because it's a big city?
Yes. So Atlanta is a very big city, and it's becoming more and more international as time goes by.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like the main factors are the airport with direct flights really anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And really predominantly European companies, because we are on Eastern time zone.
Yes.
And we have direct flights to almost every European city.
Mm-hmm.
And that is two big, really, really big keys to overseas companies. And then the other thing is the cost of living, which is still relatively very low if you compare other big cities like New York or Chicago or Miami. And really the accessibility to workforce. Again, the workforce is, I mean, it's not expensive. There's not a whole lot of taxes. The cost of living is very affordable for housing, for anything. Mm-hmm. So really for a company to operate here, an international company to operate here, you have great great background to start a business here, and you don't have to spend, if you went and established the same business in New York City, you would spend at least double what you would spend in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, that's really great, that you're saying that, because, Atlanta is a growing and thriving city, and you could do a commercial for companies to move to Atlanta.
Yeah, well, I am a commercial, I can tell you, because a lot of the economic development agencies, they do use our team, for example, as a way to promote Atlanta to other international. So if I go, for example, to an international conference, or if there's a company that's interested to move to the United States, then okay, well, which cities are you considering? Why? And then we do help to bring that business over to Atlanta.
Oh, well, that's excellent. Now, who's your perfect referral for your practice?
So Perfect Referral is a business that is either a U.S. company in technology, engineering, manufacturing, or higher education. Mm-hmm. Those usually are the fields that need a lot of foreign-based talent, computer science, engineering, IT, universities in higher education.
Yes.
It's not a closed list, but this is kind of like the majority of our clients, and also healthcare, hospitals. 1 out of 4 doctors in U.S. residency programs and fellowship doctors is foreign born.
Oh, okay.
We don't have enough U.S. graduates out of medical schools. Mm-hmm. So nurses. So those are really. So this is one part of the client, the U.S.-based corporations, and then the foreign-based companies. Mm-hmm. So it's usually going to be a U.S. subsidiary of a foreign-based company, either European, like German, French, UK, Dutch, and then we have a lot of Asian clients too, kind of Japanese, Korean, that basically operate in the United States.
Okay, that's great. Well, what legacy, Karen, would you like to leave for your law practice?
The legacy that I want to leave to my law practice would be that we helped improve tens of thousands of lives and achieve American dreams for tens of thousands of people and make their lives better in some way. So that's our legacy.
That's wonderful. Do you feel like you have been able to exemplify that in your own life?
Yes, I believe in leadership by example. So, so I'm very grateful to the United States. It has been very, very good to me. I mean, I came here with nothing other than 2 suitcases. So, and I have my law firm. I have a great team. international. All of my teammates are international or have some type of international immigration relation within their families.
Oh,
And we're all women, by the way, so far, 12 of us.
yeah.
But really to be able to work hard, achieve, learn, improve, iterate, keep going, and kind of achieve that is something that I've done in my personal life, and really something I'm very passionate about helping other people achieve at the same time.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, I love that, your ideals and your goals. I mean, they seem to kind of go with how, a lot of the things that I try to speak about and encourage, which is happiness in the law practice, and being able to go for your dream and your set your goals out there. It seems like you're very, very goal oriented. So that's wonderful.
Yes, I'm very goal oriented, but at the same time, like, there has to be a balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why a lot of lawyers are not really happy, because they either work 80 hours a week or 90 hours a week, and then they have no family life or no time for self-care and things of that nature.
Yes.
And the reason that I'm not working in a big law firm is I have a daughter, I have a family, I have a life outside of the office.
Mm-hmm.
And actually taking vacation and taking time for myself and working out and being with my daughter every day. And that is the most important thing in my life.
Yes.
And because I'm able to do that, I'm not really, upset with clients. I very rarely get angry. I can work under stress in the job, but I leave it at home. I don't check my emails when I go home. I don't work weekends, unless there's some type of an emergency. And there's a very, very a strict separation between my home, my personal life, and my work.
Wonderful.
And so I think that contributes to my happiness and ultimately the results that I can bring to my firm and my clients, because I'm not so overworked. I don't feel overwhelmed all the time. And I think all the lawyers really need to find that balance, whatever that balance might be for each person, because each person is different. And I really urge to have flexibility in law firms, which I actually provide in my own. I have obviously all female team. A lot of them are mothers. Some of them, single mothers, divorced mothers, people with very young children. So, if the child is sick and they want to work from home, that's fine with me. If they want to take a couple of days extra, that's fine. I mean, again, like having that flexibility. I have one lawyer who lives a little further out north, and traffic for her in the morning is gruesome. It will take her between an hour and an hour and a half just to drive in the traffic. So she logs in from home in the morning, and then after traffic clears at 9:30, she just drives to the office. It takes her 30 minutes, and that's it.
That's great.
And she's great, and she's productive, and she's happy because she's not, standing in traffic for an hour and a half getting to the office.
Yeah.
By the time she's in the office, she'd be mad.
Yeah. I have one of my mottos is a happy lawyer is a successful lawyer.
Yeah, and better produce. I mean, really, they better produce.
So let me ask you our final question is, which is in line with what we've been talking about, is what do you do to manage your stress levels?
So I have a habit of working out every day. So that's the first thing I do in the morning. And my daughter actually works out with me.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So
how old is she?
How old is she? She is 8.
Oh, wonderful.
And we have a big basement, and she rollerblades in there, and which is wonderful. Yeah. And she does that before school, so she's gotten her energies out. And then I do and I work out. I have an elliptical at home, and I have weight machines at home. So I work out, and then every day. And I also have reading time, quiet reading time every day. So, and I have quiet time for meditation,
Mhm.
and time for myself. So even if it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever I can manage that day,
Yes.
that time to myself without TV, without phones, without distractions, just time to myself, either to just sit and meditate, reflect, read, at least 30 minutes a day. That's what I do. And the weekends are more. And have
Wonderful.
more fun in the weekend and fun in the
Wonderful.
workplace.
Wow. Well, it's been so nice to know you and learn about your practice. And I'm sure that our audience will enjoy your perspective and some of the things that you're doing and your passion and your accomplishment with your firm and your commitment to having happiness and the excellence and high level of service that you provide is really wonderful to see. So thank you so much for joining us for Atlanta Lawyers on the Move. And to my audience, we look forward to seeing you on the next issue, our next interview for Atlanta Lawyers on the Move.
Thank you, Pamela.
Thank you for joining us on Atlanta Lawyers on the Move. We hope you'll join us again next week.